Welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. After I recorded last week, it absolutely poured here. It was still quite warm, but the skies just opened up and it rained and rained. The little creek here burst its banks again, all the paddocks flooded. We got quite a lot of rain really, really quickly. And the paddocks were just drying out. We'd been able to get the tractor in and do some slashing where we had sprayed blackberries last season. But we still weren't able to get down into some of the lower sections. It was still a little bit wet, and now it's very wet again. So we're going to have to wait again for that to dry out before we can get back in and slash that. And we want to get that done so that the canes are broken down and any little shoots won't grow up into those old areas of blackberry, and we will be able to easily see it so that we can spray it this season coming. So I ended up getting stuck here at the shed in the rain. It absolutely poured down. I had no coat. I had my computer and all of my yarn. So I just had to wait until a break in the weather so that I could get back to the house. And it took quite a while. Lucky there were things I could do here in terms of prep for the big wool show. Otherwise, it would have been quite frustrating to just be over here and not be able to do anything. One benefit was, though, that there was an amazing rainbow at the end, actually a double rainbow, and it was really, really pretty. Because of the rain, there wasn't a lot of opportunity to get outside and do stuff for a few days. So I got inspired after doing the little spring clean here in the shed about doing a bit of a spring clean in my living area. And I've been thinking, I don't really like the lounge area. I don't enjoy sitting in there to knit. It's quite dark. You sort of feel set back from the windows, and the lighting's not that great. The aspect outside isn't terribly good. So I would either come over here to the shed to do craft, but then sometimes that feels like work. So sometimes I just want to be, at home rather than at work doing my craft. And I just didn't feel comfortable in the space. It just wasn't right. So I had a bit of a brainwave and thought, what if I switched my bedroom with the lounge room? Bear with me. Um, I thought that would be a really good use of the bay window that's in the bedroom. It's much brighter in there. It also has the wardrobes, which is glass, so it kind of reflects the light around. And it has a better view outside if you're facing towards that bay window. Whereas where the bed was sideways, so if you're sitting in bed, you're not really looking out the window, you kind of got this look at straight at a wall. So I had time and really nothing to lose, so I thought I would switch it around and see how it went. It took a lot of maneuvering. I had to undo the bed and figure out how to get one big piece of furniture into one room where there was space to then bring the other piece of furniture into the other room, squeezing through quite a narrow doorway. I did it, and actually didn't take me that long. I was quite surprised. And I now have a cute little lounge room set up, which I'm quite happy with. I've still got to play around a little bit. I kind of don't have anywhere to sit some of my spinning fibre at the moment. So I'm not sure whether I need to get another storage option in there or just rearrange what I have already. And then I put the bed in the lounge room up against the back wall. So it now faces out towards the double doors and has a really good view in the morning of the vineyard across the road with the kangaroos. But it's not super bright, which is nice for sleeping. It's away from the window. It's kind of like in the dark corner for the bed. And everything has fitted really well. There's a couple of pieces of furniture now that I will move over here to the shed. I've got a couple of rocking recliners. So one of them will stay in the lounge room and the other one I think I will bring over here. And I have a display cabinet that I've been meaning to move over here for a long time. It's kind of just been getting in the way. So that's going to come over here as well. I was worried that I would hate it and that I would want to end up moving everything back straight away after all that effort, but it does really feel much better. I've woken up a couple of times in the morning and kind of not realized where I am or which way I'm facing, but I am getting used to it. And I think it's going to be a much better use of the space. I just need to now sort of tweak it and refine it a little bit, get my habits back to the way that they will work with the space the way it is. And then down the track, there might be a little bit of renovating or changing. I might want to put in a wardrobe or storage system into the now bedroom. There is space for it. There are currently cupboards, which are not very practical. So if I could knock all those out and put in a sort of purpose-built storage system, that would be really good. Weight has also adapted very well. I was able to still have the ramp for him up to the bed, and he has straight away just got used to that. He does sometimes forget in the morning. He'll go out and come back in and run in to the now lounge room, and I have to call him, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, that's right," and comes back up onto the bed. So we are both getting used to it, but I think it's now a really good use of the space. So now I really want to pare down and spring clean a little bit more just to make everything really streamlined and comfortable. Well, this past week was all about the Big Wool Show, and it was huge. Thank you to the organisers. They did such a great job. Each stall holder had their own little website on their page. There were interviews, classes, live streams both days, and it was really supportive of the yarn industry here in Australia. So, thank you so much to Danielle and Chantel for all your hard work. And thank you to everyone who stopped by my shop. It was really lovely to meet a lot of you digitally. We had some chats online. And thank you for everyone who bought yarn from me, who has now signed up to Instagram, maybe watching this video, and signed up to my newsletter as well. So it's nice to have you here. And thank you for supporting me here at Passion Flower. It was a really big weekend. As soon as orders started coming in, I started to pack them. I was worried about the post service being so slow, and so I wanted to get everything done as quickly as I possibly could so that I could get them in the mail quickly, so that they had the best chance of getting to people. So I spent most of Saturday packing orders, most of Sunday packing, and then also Monday as well. And then a big trip to the post office. I now have some custom orders to dye up, which is really fun. It's nice that people went and had a look at some of the repeatable colorways and have chosen some things for themselves that were not already available. So I'm getting those done this week. So still kind of finishing up all of the Big Wool Show stuff, but I'm really glad that I was a part of it, and I'm hoping that it'll happen again next year and that I can be a part of it then too, because it really was great to sort of feel that community around it as well and know that everybody was supporting each other. I now have so many shops bookmarks that I am going to go and look at when I am in need for a particular kind of yarn. There are a few self-striping dyers that I'm very interested in looking at, and people who do different things and techniques to me. So I'll definitely be buying from them when I have a particular project in mind. I am trying to not buy yarn just for the sake of it. I'm trying to buy yarn for projects. So when I have a project, I'll be checking them out. I'm also excited that I can now reveal to you my 2021 Christmas colorway. It is called Grinchy. Here it is on Trellis DK and on Lattice Sock. So it's a chartreuse green with little pops of red through it. I've knit my sample square that I always do. I also have the crochet square, And a little while ago, I was knitting on socks that I really couldn't show you. So here are those finished socks as well, except for the ends. And the inspiration obviously is from the movie and the books, but also at Christmas time, I wear this shirt, which I think I've worn on this video before, my resting Grinch face shirt. So I was struggling with a color this year. I wanted to sort of use the vintage red that I've used a little bit, and it's a slightly different version on this one. And I was talking to my sister about inspiration and colors and what I'd done before, and she was the one that came up with the idea of basing it off the Grinch, which I think is a great idea. It's a very distinctive color palette, but it's not traditional Christmas, and I really love it. And I think it's come up really, really well. It's already live in the shop, and it will be there through until the end of December. I have some ready to ship most of the time. It's already been really popular this week, so I'm already sold out of my first batch of DK, so I will be dyeing more up shortly. If it's not available as ready to ship, I am allowing back orders on this, so you can get your yarn dyed up, and I will send it out within a couple of weeks as soon as I'm able to get more into the dye pots. So I will try and keep some in stock most of the time. But if you're after a large quantity or you come in after someone's just bought, there may not be enough there. So as I said, put in a back order. I will let you know how long it's going to be. And I will be just trying to keep the stocks up through this Christmas period. Despite the busy week with moving furniture and the big wool show, I surprisingly got a fair bit of craft done. I think because it does become my stress reliever and my unwinding time. So I have been trying to take that little bit of time to sit and knit or crochet to just sort of relax. And the hands get a little bit itchy. So I needed that different sort of work to the running around that I was doing. I also gave myself Thursday afternoon off. It had been a really busy week of work. So I spent the afternoon in my new lounge area, catching up on some of my crafting as well. First, my current pair of socks, my bed socks out of Zilana Cozy in the custard colorway. I'm about halfway through the foot of both. So this has been my in the evening TV knitting, and I'm really enjoying these and can't wait to have another pair of bed socks finished. I put in a couple more stripes on my granny stripe blanket. I think last time I showed you I'd done the dusty rose, so I've added while the sun shines, and this is a one of a kind bright blue that was sort of a end of the dye pot experiment. So I did that as well. Oh, and I also did a sample square in Princess of Pink. And so now I have some of that I can also add to the granny stripe blanket as well. I've also made progress on my 10 stitch blanket increasing project. As you can see, I've done quite a bit of that blue now in the diagonal broken rib, and it's made that garter section of the log cabining really stretch out. So it's making it a lot bigger, which is really great. I'm not sure how much more I'm going to do on here before I do the lace edge. I'm going to get my scales out and weigh the ball and then sort of figure out how much yarn I'm going to need to do the other 3 sides so that I end up with enough of this colour in this batch of colour to finish the blanket off. But I'm really, really loving how this is turning out. It's getting quite big to sit on my lap and to move and turn around, but it's still quite an enjoyable project. And finally, I have some progress to show you on my crossover cardie. I didn't show last week because I'd only done a few rows and I didn't feel like it was really worth pulling out to show. But I feel like I am actually getting somewhere with this applied border now. That's the middle back down here where the purple is, and it's sort of come around the corner, which is about there, and I'm now up to almost the first armhole, and I'm getting quicker. I have screwed up the stitch pattern a couple of times down here. I'm not going to worry about it. No one's going to notice. It's only a couple of stitches, and I fixed it as I went along. And I'm getting better at reading my stitches and what needs to happen next, knowing what the different textures are. The main part is just keeping track of the number of rows before you have to cable again. So I still do need to concentrate. So this isn't one that I can do in front of the TV. It's one that's going to be for my new lounge area when I have time to sit and just sort of be quite methodical and tick off rows. But it is coming along really, really well. And it was a good time to show you because I've just finished the second ball of yarn here. So I'm about to start the third. And with the amount that's left to go, I might even end up breaking into a fourth ball. It's hard to tell. But yeah, so this is going really, really well. I'm super happy. I really want to get this finished because I think it'll be a great piece to wear during spring and maybe into some cool days in summer as well. So, but slow progress, but it is getting there. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.